Now the system is a call will come from a classroom and we'll take the call. Someone's always in the wellness room all day long from 30 minutes before school till 30 minutes after. And they'll take a call, and the first step is we try to coach through like some options that maybe the teacher isn't thinking of in that moment, like could they go to a buddy room or walk, take a walk with a peer to get a drink, or maybe they could bring me a heavy box that I really need. So Generation Wellness, the training that we went through, is basically a concept of teaching staff and students how to regulate emotion before it gets too big. And there's trainings. There's also an online course that you can take. And basically it's kind of rethinking the way we approach behavior, the way we approach emotional situations for kids and staff for that matter. And so we're just, freshly into the implementation here. We just implemented it in the last 3 months. And not only has the wellness room really been received well by the students and staff, it's had an amazing impact on the data that we can represent. The number of referrals are cut in half to last year's system. And so we can't just say that it's, we're working harder, we're doing this and that. It's truly a change in how we approach, and ultimately teaching kids how to regulate their emotions and recognize. I always preach to kids, feelings are feelings. There's not a right or wrong feeling, but it's how we manage that feeling is the impactful piece. And that's what this room really gives kids the opportunity to learn how to do. As I was explaining to a class yesterday, 6th grade class, I'm like, we spend all this time and focus on taking care of our body. We need to eat certain nutrients. We need to get 8 hours of sleep, and we need to do this so we understand math. But do we spend that same amount of energy and time taking care of our mind and taking care of our emotional and our mindset? And so that's what we're kind of trying to shift, where our classroom teachers are doing some mindfulness in the mornings and doing lessons within their classrooms. And then mine is kind of the additional support for kids who may need just a little bonus class, just like we need, a little bonus class sometimes for reading and writing. Sometimes someone needs just a little extra support for emotional and self-regulation tools. So kids will come in here for 2 reasons. They may have a scheduled break. So that 5% of tier 3 students that we know, whether it's from trauma or possible diagnosis or different reasons, that they need a little extra support with behavior. So they may have it as scheduled part of their day. Like we look at their data, and so usually has some type of uptick in behaviors, unexpected behavior right before lunch. So for example, I have a young man that struggles with that transition. So he comes every single day with his wellness pass. He checks in. We say, how are you feeling today? And he will kind of share where he's at. And then he gets to choose one of the stations that's going to help him get ready for the next part of his learning. So he may choose, today I just have so much energy and I'm just so excited and I'm getting in trouble because I'm talking out so much. And then we'll say, what need might you need met here? And so he'll say, I want to get on the bike. Great. Get your timer, get on the bike. Tell me how you feel after. We meet a lot of needs here in the wellness room. Just yesterday, I had somebody that their feet were hurting them, and when we realized they didn't have socks, I was like, you need some new socks. That's going to make a big difference, and we give them socks. We have snacks, and they just need to be able to say, I'm feeling hungry. Well, that's a need. We need to meet that need. We can do it here. And they're starting to really change in the way they articulate when they come in to the wellness room. So far, it has not ever been abused. We only have 5 students in our entire school that have set regulation breaks. That's part of their daily schedule every single day. We have a couple that the multi-purpose room for lunch is just too stimulating. It's like Disneyland, and then you're supposed to transition and sit quiet and be amazing in class, and it's just too much stimulation for them. So they'll have lunch in here with lunch groups where we do both connecting activities, and we'll also do lessons on the zones or different things that we use here. And then the rest, we have probably had about 20 to maybe 30 that have utilized the room when they're in a moment of need. And that may look like I had a student that was a first grader last week, just crying, and she couldn't really explain what was going on. And so I said, well, let's take a walk, let's see what's in here. And come to find out, the guest teacher pulled her work from her and she wasn't finished with it, and she couldn't kind of work through that on her own. So she finished her work, she did some coloring, we did some breathing, we connected, high-fived, and then she went back to class.